BeyondDrewTV here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a little overview video and kind of a my thoughts on the brand new aquatic DLC that just released for Planet Zoo today there. So yeah, it's been a what feels like a long time. That was like the longest week ever for most of us there. Yeah, I was very gracious enough to receive a key early from Frontier and the Planet Zoo team there. So big thanks to them for letting me get some stuff recorded beforehand and get kind of my thoughts collected and yeah, to kind of try out the all-new aquatic kind of mechanics and new things that are kind of came with the DLC there. So big thanks to them there. Overall, just wanted to make this video here real quick, just to kind of give again my kind of thoughts on the DLC, my thoughts kind of moving forward from this DLC, and that we kind of were able to sink our teeth into it a bit, and yeah, just kind of give the pros, cons, and you know if you should get it and all that fun stuff. So we'll start with that last one first, the if you should get it, and that's going to be a resounding yeah, you really probably should look into getting this pack there. Overall, the thought is that yeah, this is basically the best pack that has come out for Planet Zoo, and you could feel the hype kind of surrounding this even before release. Everyone kind of felt that this was going to be something special there, and yeah, in my opinion, this really is. There are some pros to, there are some cons to the pack. It's not a perfect pack or DLC, but overall, this is in my opinion, very good step in the right direction kind of DLC for Planet Zoo as a whole. Kind of leading into this, there was kind of some I mean, myself included, but a lot of people kind of have a little bit of not knowing what was going on with Planet Zoo there for a little bit. You know, we were getting the Australia pack, the South America pack, and they were pretty good DLCs, but they didn't seem to really launch the game forward in terms of new kind of mechanics for like diving or like aviaries or anything that would really put Planet Zoo back on the map, as I like to think. All the DLCs leading up to this, again, they were fine, but nothing like that. So this is like the first pack that feels like first off, that it's like a community pack overall. It really feels like they took what the community has been kind of saying and mentioning and just griping about at this point for a few months now, if not since the release of the game. And it feels like they addressed a bunch of that stuff in this pack here. So yeah, that is really nice to see. And yeah, overall, that makes me very hopeful for the future of Planet Zoo leading into the 2021 there. Because yeah, again, we have first off, the thing that makes me most excited and shows that they're listening to the community is all the flexi color options that we have in this pack. As you can see here in this little seal kind of harbor cove, whatever you want to call it, that I made there during the early access. Yeah, you can see all the flexi colored rocks there, and these are just amazing to use. They are going to be my go-to rock basically from here on out. Whenever the next zoo is that I build, they're going to be the primary rock everywhere. It was funny, I was talking to just a few other people after the pack release, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go through my entire zoo and I'm going to have to redo all the rocks in it. I was like, wow, more power to you. I am not doing that in Thornton Hills Zoo because, oh my gosh, there are too many to do, but I'll definitely be using them from here on out kind of thing. So but that's like something that we have never seen in a Planet series game up until now. Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, neither of them. So that's a huge step as far as customizing your own zoos and making whatever you want. Like some people are joking around about you can make lava floors now, or you can go ahead and make cotton candy clouds out of the flexi colored rocks. So I mean, and not just the flexi colored rocks. We also have the new flexi colored slate roof set, which also brings a ginormous amount of customability and everything like that. I'm trying to remember if I'm sure I did use them somewhere. Just, oh my gosh, there was such a fast-paced week there. Overall, here they are, right over here. There you go. So here's, all of these tiles right here are fully customizable, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we wanted to do that, and then we wanted to do, go like that, and then we wanted to, oh gosh, go like that, and finally do a little bit of blue. You can go ahead and you can do that. Why not? And that's kind of, again, what the Planet games should be kind of all about, is full on, or, what it's, a lot of us hardcore builders want the games to kind of be all about, is full customizable, whatever you want to do, be able to do as far as flexi colored, or, making things invisible, or this, that, and all the other things there. So, yeah, but no, so that flexi color set there is really welcome. Also just the, Also, a lot of simple, useful pieces in this pack, such as especially, and one that I am really, oops, oh, don't close that, there we go. One that I'm really harping on, that is my favorite. I hope I put it in my favorites, it's because it's such my favorite, is this new, what is it called, aquatic fence there. So yeah, this is just, oh my gosh, there we go. This is just your kind of simple, just good use metal fence, right? Just something you might see at an aquarium, or again, just basically at a zoo and everything, and it is perfect. I love it. It's just so easy to drop in anywhere. The only thing is, I wish we had a 2-meter version of it, you know? So yeah, we have those that are just like super duper useful. Also, we have a new panel here for decals. Speaking of nice little useful things, we have an entire vent set, there it is, that we can place down now, you know, from anything from, these look great if you go down and place them on the bottom of your aquariums, or, you know, your areas there. Just perfect looking like that. You know, we have ones that look good on the side of buildings or inside buildings for interiors. Just all sorts of different vents. And then, you know, I love this. It's kind of super duper random, to be honest with you, because all the other things were vents and everything, but I love that we just get this little notepad there with little scribbles on it. And, you know, some of us were talking that wouldn't it be great if you know, all of the, yeah, Estan and I were talking, wouldn't it be great if they just started to kind of trickle out slowly but surely? Oh, hey, there's another new thing that we'll talk about in just a second. Slowly just started to like trickle out all of these little items that they kind of put inside of the pre-made guest facilities and everything, because it kind of seems like that's where that notepad and like vents and everything came from. So could you imagine if they gave us like this like fire alarm and these TV and like the guitar, like, because they already have the models, it looks like, so that'd be awesome if they just started to release little decals sets with all those kind of things in there. So, but speaking of, as we were in there, another fun thing that they added that I'm really enjoying when it kind of works, but I think it's more on my end for the management. Anyways, is the new educator, and this is going to be part of the Animal Talks, which is part of the free update 1.4. And yeah, no, these are really fun to take a look at, and we'll be doing, you know, different videos kind of covering that, and we might even be able to catch an Animal Talk in progress in this video there. But yeah, there's a awesome look at one of the educators there for the Animal Talks. So, and yeah, speaking of the 1.4 update, yeah, with the DLC and 1.4 update coming out together, those two combined, there's a nice shot of the entire cove there. With those two combined, again, this really, I know I'm harping on this a lot, but this makes this the like best DLC that you can get. I would even say like out the gate, like a lot of people say maybe wait for sale and stuff like that, but if you were honestly, if you're a Planet Zoo hardcore player and you like play it at least a few times a week and stuff like that, and you've been waiting for a DLC like this, and you're kind of, you know, back and forth, like, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't, kind of thing, I would get this right out the gate, because again, combined with update 1.4, which brings in the educator talks, which brings in a bunch of different like free foliage and just a bunch of other really fun things there, combined with this DLC and everything, you get just the whole package, basically, the entire package there. So yeah, so there is another good thing. What else is good? We kind of looked at it real quick, but the new water here, and again, you're kind of seeing little glimpses of it. Now, people were wondering and speculating during the lead up to this if we would be getting a new kind of water, like maybe a salt water or like a sea water or something, you know, like that. But that is not the case. What it looks like they've done, though, is overall just made the water look better and kind of more clear when you're looking underneath. Now, we've seen some good shots here of, you know, the above water and seeing all the animals kind of swimming when they are. A lot of times they're underneath there as well. Oh, and I didn't mention this, but I forgot. Maybe I did mention it. Anyways, the seals here, they might be a little borked. This is still, we're in pre-release here, so everything you're seeing here is kind of subject to change as far as how the animals might behave on release day. So the seals don't really like to interact with anything right now. So if they kind of act weird, it might not be indicative of how the final game looks, because this is still a review copy. So anyways, but yeah, the water looks really good above, and again, when they're swimming, the detail on it is really immaculate, and you can see it's just, I don't know, it looks a lot better. The blue looks a little bit better, and just the Planet Zoo water already looked really great, but there's just something about it that looks really good. And then if we go below there, it's just really clear now, and I think that's what they did a lot of, is just kind of, there's a good look at them swimming underneath, some of the diving mechanics there. But yeah, it looks like they cleared up the water for the most part so that you can just see a lot better. And there's what I'm talking about. Sometimes the seals can't go certain areas, but they'll kind of morph through the rocks and stuff. Again, a review copy, it'll probably be fixed or in the process of getting fixed for the final copy. But so here's what the water looks like when you're in it without being like a guest area behind a glass piece or whatever. It has a little bit of fogginess, but still pretty clear. But watch this difference right there. Bam, when you're in a guest area looking around, it is like crystal clear. I shared a picture with Simply Savannah this morning and stuff, and she was like, wait, do you have water in there? I can't tell that there's even water in there because it looks like it just kind of disappears for the most part, but it's still, again, it's crystal clear, and it's really great that you can kind of get these full-on great underwater views there of everything going on. And then also right here, something that's pretty cool, but also a little bit of a disappointment, but only a disappointment because we built it up in our heads. You can see the fish cannon, as a lot of us are calling it, but yeah, the fish feeder here, the fish cannon. It definitely shoots up dead fish, unfortunately. So a lot of us were wondering if we could use this for like aquariums, but yeah, no, the fish are super duper dead. Like that wouldn't pass for a fish. You can use it like a shark feeder if you want to have like a fake shark or whatever. And also they only go off when there are animals around, so you'd have to kind of manipulate it in a way. So it's probably not going to work. So you know, there's that, unfortunately. But again, with the water looking like a lot more clear than what I remember in the previous update, you'd probably be able to pull off aquariums a little bit easier now since it's not as foggy looking behind some of the glass. And speaking of glass, this is the brand new barrier set that we have there in game. Yeah, we have the brand new thick glass, which is a resistance grade 4. Dilapidation rate is low. It is transparent, not climbable, and watertight there. So yeah, this is the brand new thick glass there. So it's basically the glass, and it has a concrete barrier that separates it now. So, and that's recolorable as well. So if you'd like to, thanks for booping me there, game. If you'd like to recolor that, you can definitely recolor the center pillar and the lines on the outside and everything there. So there is that awesome new barrier there. Speaking of new things like that, we also been talking too much, didn't get a drink. But we have a new set of path, I should say. Let's go ahead and I think I can put it. Nope, I covered that up. So let's go above, show that off real quick. Here is some of the new path. If we can place it, there we go. You know how it is if you play Planet Zoo, the terrain and the water and the path, they don't like to mess with each other, but so sometimes you can't place it everywhere. There we go, X out. But there's the new path there, and again, it looks really cool. I like the way that it kind of looks like the bottom of a like an aquarium, or like, I guess like the lights through an aquarium glass there, basically. Oh, excuse me, I had to get a drink. But yeah, no, I really like how that looks there, so really cool. You can put that in your aquariums and all that. And then also while we're over here, also get some good looks of, again, the new flexi-colored rocks in play with a lot of the new, I believe the rhubarb is from the 1.4 free update, so I believe that's free there, if not, my bad, and that is from the DLC. But I know that these plants here that I have flipped upside down, so you don't even get the best look of them. There we go. These are some of the new underwater plants that we have coming. So yeah, I actually flipped them upside down. I found they have a really neat orange texture underneath. It kind of looks a bit like, a little bit like moss to me. So yeah, I take it like that and I kind of blend it in with some of the new rock pieces that we have there. I think it kind of looks a bit like moss and stuff. But yeah, that's some of the underwater ones there. And speaking of, I didn't even talk about, but yeah, and the rhubarb as well. I didn't even talk about the amazing, speaking of foliage, the amazing willow trees here. These just like make this area. I love, love, love how they look. I didn't have these willow trees there because I kind of, to be honest with you, I kind of forgot that we got some new willow trees. But yeah, I was looking through the I like how they just box up randomly. They just do that. That's a thing they do. But yeah, the willow trees, yeah, they fit in there perfectly. So I love that, love that, love that. So where are you going? You're going to an animal talk. Where are you going to the animal talk? Oh, they're going over there to the animal talk. Everyone, we get to see an animal talk. I am so excited. So yeah, over here, speaking of, here's the animal talk kind of talk thing, I guess, or you know, where they congregate at. And if you haven't seen, it is done once a month. So that's a little bit like, I wish it was done a little bit more, but I guess, you know, for the how the time is done in game, that is kind of the best way that they could do it. But again, it would be nice if you could do it a few times a month. I understand if they can't do it every month, I guess because of the way time works in the game, but once a month, a year, or wow, 1 month a year is what I meant to say, not once a month. 1 month a year is all you can do it. There it is. And yeah, I wish we could do it a few more times, but other than that, this is what the screen looks like. You can play music from it, and they will keep playing it until it's the month hits, or it's like a half month until the time, and then a little announcement comes on over and lets everyone know that it's about to start. Unfortunately, we don't have guests in the zoo, so but they'll still go off and do it. And this right here, the location, so it tells you that these water is obstructing the food throw. We'll look at one later that doesn't have this, and it kind of gives you the green light that they will be able to do the food throw and everything. So where is our educator? I hope he didn't miss it and now they're like turned around. Oh no. That kind of happens a lot too, like they don't make it on time, so they just kind of don't end up coming over here. Let's see if they turned around. That's happened a few times. I hope that kind of gets tweaked a little bit. Yeah, no, they missed it. They didn't come in time, so they just turned around and left. So no animal talk after getting all excited about the animal talk. So I have to place like the break room or something in a different location. Anyways, speaking of, there is an option now. I'm just all over the place, I know. I'm just kind of going off of like what I'm really stoked about the game and everything right now, because it's been a really fun week, just kind of going through everything. But if you go in and look in the for you sandbox players, there's a new thing where I believe this is new. If it's not, then I totally missed it, and whatever. But yeah, the fully trained staff, I believe that is a brand new feature there, and I remember I was even like complaining about that, like, oh man, if this is sandbox mode, because this is what I sound like when I stream. I change my voice when I stream, apparently. I was like, if it's sandbox mode, why don't we have our staff be able to get fully trained? Why do I have to mess with that? So I like to think that someone from Frontier was sitting there listening, like, yeah, that's a good point, and they implemented it because I complained about it on stream a few times. So cool, you're welcome. That was my idea. So, but anyways, yeah. So there's some more good looks of these seals and everything. How they lay up on this little porthole thing. And by the way, this is like an enrichment item that they come up on and take a little nappy poo, a little sleepy deepy, and there they are taking a little nap there. And speaking of the naps, you will also see a lot of times, not right now. Oh, they pooped on there. We're never gonna be able to get it off. But these little jetties, or these little, what do they call them? Yeah, jetty bedding platform. These are the beddings for your seals and otters and stuff like that. So yeah, they will go up there and sleep on them and treat them like bedding. And I did a little thing with otters, and we'll look at the otters in just a minute, I'm sure, where you can hide these in rocks and stuff like that. So you can kind of get them to sleep in like little caves and other things by hiding this in rocks and other scenery items and stuff like that. So very cool there. So but let's go ahead and move into this isn't a tour video. I just want to kind of give you different looks of the different things that came with the pack there. But let's move into our King Penguin thing as we talk about more of the things that I like and kind of dislike too, because again, I've been giving it too much praise, right? I can't be giving it all the praise all the time, because I did say at at the beginning of the video there that there are some negatives to it, and there are indeed. Let's get a good view here though. We'll talk about the few cons there, but I don't think the cons are too much to worry about, because I think the pros outweigh the cons there. Okay, this is a good view, and our little penguin guys they're going to be noisy. I'm just warning you now. It's perfect. I love it, but they are so noisy, and again, I love it. That's actually another one of the pros that I have written down, that having penguins in the zoo, and even the seals can get pretty noisy as well if they get going, and you have a good amount of them. But having really noisy animals in the zoo is really cool. I know we have a few of them that can get kind of noisy, like the chimpanzees or the bonobos, or there's a few other ones that can kind of get noisy. But yeah, listening, like, you know when you're about to be near like the penguins or the seals, or kind of to an extent the otters, because they kind of have a high-pitched little squeal to them. But yeah, it's great coming up to this building and just hearing rah, rah, like all the throughout the whole little plaza area there. So that is awesome. So but yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the shorter end of the stick here, which is the cons of the pack. And the first thing off the bat is going to be the 170 pieces of scenery. Definitely feel a bit light, and you can feel that there. Now I understand, like, again, I've said before that the combination of the 1.4 free update with this DLC make this DLC feel really, really full and kind of complete. If you were to take away that update, though, it would it would be a lighter pack, and even so, it is still scenery-wise pretty light. When you're looking at construction pieces, a lot of those are statues and different variations of statues, which are nice. I'm not gonna not want different statues and flexi-colored statues and stuff like that, but yeah, it just kind of felt like it could have been fleshed out a little bit with the new flexi-colored wood panels set that we have, and I guess I'm going to be showing this stuff off. Yeah, with the new, let's bring up the aquatic pack, with like the, got 'em. Yeah, with the wood panel set here that is flexi-colored as well and everything, looks really, really nice. Love using it. I've been requesting this for a long time. It just kind of felt like it was a little bit of like a harbor pack to it, and just kind of the way that they promoted it and stuff. And it kind of felt like they could have leaned into that kind of harbor theme a little bit more. And that's the other thing, like the pack is kind of split into two, so it kind of feels like two half-themed packs kind of like smushed into one, like a little bit of Arctic pack and a little bit of like South America pack leftovers kind of smashed into one there. So yeah, it would have been nice if they kind of just fleshed it out more and we still would have gotten the full scenery pack. Because yeah, I kind of fear that after looking at the animals dive and having, you know, seeing the new wow glitz and glamour of diving animals and everything, when a lot of casual players are going to kind of want to sink their teeth into the scenery items of the pack, they might be a little bit let down. And I wonder if it's going to kind of not hold their interest for too long. You know, it might be like they get the pack, a whole bunch of people get the pack at release, there's a whole bunch of big numbers, and you know, you naturally will see players drop off and not always be interested. But I hope it's not like a big downfall because people are like, yeah, no, the animals swimming is cool, but like, now what, you know, kind of thing. So that could be a thing. And again, I think if the scenery items were beefed up a little bit, or on the flip side, if we're not going to have as many scenery items, again 170 compared to like I think it's 230 or something we normally get, then maybe, you know, release another animal, because again, you always hear it with the complaints of, or the wants of, another habitat animal to make it a little bit more juicier. So yeah, maybe if we don't have as many scenery items, we get another habitat animal that might even things out. But yeah, so that is one of the cons there that I noticed. And see that yes, and when you're messing with the diving mechanics of the animals and everything, it can be a little bit finicky, and it did take us, some of us, a little bit of time to kind of figure out how to get them to dive initially, because we missed this little thing right there. And maybe if maybe there was a tutorial, or maybe we just were totally blind for too long. But anyways, yeah, you have to have the depth of the water to at least 4 meters to get the deep water diving mechanic to work. Which, I mean, again, when it's specifically called, you know, there's a great view of them diving and everything. When it's specifically called the deep water diving mechanic, definitely keep that in mind, because it is going to be very deep. So for those of you that are wanting to, you know, maybe see your animals kind of shallow swimming and stuff, I haven't seen it. I do know that Planet Zoo released a screenshot of an otter that looked like it was diving in like really shallow, like 1 meter or 2 meter deep water. Myself and others that I've talked to haven't been able to get that to be a thing. So yeah, it appears that if the water is not this deep, it's not at least 4 meters deep, that they won't do any of these really cool animations here. Oh, the swimming and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind when you are designing and everything, that, excuse me, if you were wanting to do kind of a more shallow water swimming experience with like otters again, or the caiman, dwarfs, because that's the thing too, it's a flat brushstroke across all animals, have to do 4 meters. So even the dwarf caimans, the little crocodile dudes there, even those little dudes, they won't do any swimming like underwater animations that we've seen, at least, maybe, unless we missed it, unless it's 4 meters deep. So definitely keep that in mind. And again, it would be nice if that was tweaked a little bit, you know, or maybe it's coming in a future DLC that we get shallow water, you know, swimming mechanics kind of thing. So there is that to definitely consider there. So And also, yeah, the dealing with them as they're climbing on rocks. I mentioned with the seals, which I think they're bugged in the review copy here that we have, but getting animals to just walk on rocks in general, especially, let's go ahead and move over to the otter habitat. And by the way, if I'm going through these really quick and like, oh, I want to see the rest of that building, I'm going to have detailed looks at all of these builds coming up on the channel, in a not too distant future there, for sure. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be unveiling all that stuff, so don't you all worry if you want to get some closer looks at that, at those exhibits there. But so yeah, speaking of the rocks, everything, here we are over at the otter habitat, which I wasn't implied habitat. This was the one that gave me the biggest pain in the butt to do, because again, this was an implied habitat that was actually only about this big right here, but to give our otters a little bit more room, anyways, I'm going to go over this annoying pain in the butt build when we go to the individual build videos. But anyways, talking about the animals and rocks, yeah, this took me forever to do, because honestly, like, the otters couldn't climb on very simple rocks, and again, the penguins as well, they kind of act really well with these new rocks here, like these steps here. They like to use those, but some of them they really don't. And look, like, a lot of them, they're like, okay, you should be able to definitely, like, climb on this. Like, you can, your brothers and sisters and cousins out in the wild would be able to do this all day, every day. Just because you're in a zoo doesn't mean that you can't climb rocks. So again, I mean, it might be a technical limitation, and like, that's totally understandable. And I think we have an issue right here that I fixed a few times, and if it is, I'm very upset. I'm going to be very upset if it is. Okay, it's not. No, it is! It is! I fixed this a few times, and here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So the traversable area, it's saying that they cannot go over this little hump. That for whatever reason, like, if our poor little otter buddy were to go over this hump, he would just break a leg or something. So, and you might be thinking I'm almost positive it's not the plantings, because that could be it too. Which also, that's kind of another point too. If it is this planting, like, that's also kind of like, really? I'm almost positive though it is the rock not being flat enough, to be honest with you. So we'll kind of do a little bit of moving around here just to kind of see if we can get a little bit more. But yeah, again, like, this isn't just a this pack thing, but it is more prevalent and noticed in this pack, because you're doing a lot of so that didn't even really fix it, so who even knows what's in the way. Maybe it's that plant, but yeah, it's really prevalent because you're doing a lot of terrain work with this pack. Yeah, who knows why they can't get over there, right? But but yeah, you're doing a lot of terrain work, a lot of rock work with these kind of habitats and everything there, so kind of getting them to be able to traverse through, like, this kind of simple, maybe it's not simple, maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but yeah, it looks like they should be able to walk around here. So if they could, like, get that tweaked a little bit, and also, you know, giving us a overlay that would let me know why, you know, we're sitting here having to play a guessing game, right? It would be nice if we're not playing a guessing game of, like, why can't my otters go back here when it very much so looks like they can? Is it the tree? Is it the rocks? Is it the angle that the rocks are at? So yeah, again, I guess it's not like specifically this pack or this update thing, more of just like an overall Planet Zoo thing, but yeah, that would be kind of a nice little update, and it would make things building a lot more fun there, I would think. So very, very cool. So let me see if there's any other things there. Okay, yeah, and then the last thing is kind of, again, touching on the kind of more so the crowd that doesn't hardcore play Planet Zoo all the time, and I guess you'd say the more casual crowd that picks it up every once in a while. I do have a fear that this is the last con too, that this pack might frustrate a lot of people, in the sense that, in the same way that a lot of Planet series games frustrate people, where they're going to be like, oh cool, we have penguins, I'm going to go and build a penguin habitat, and then they're going to get in there and they're going to realize they have to make it really deep, or they're going to need to do the terrain tool, the path tool, and the water tool, and use those all simultaneously, or, you know, within each other, and make them work, and I can just see a lot of people getting really frustrated really quickly just because of the way that terrain and pathing and all that stuff work kind of again like not well together. They've definitely been some huge improvements going between playing Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. There's been some huge improvements to pathing and terrain and water, but it's still nowhere near where it needs to be. If we're all just being very honest with ourselves, that's still the biggest complaint, right, is pathing and terrain and water. And yeah, that's what this entire pack is about, is getting that stuff to work together. So yeah, I can just see people who aren't going to want to spend 45 minutes watching an awesome Palsley tutorial, and a few of them on like how to use all of those tools coherently, or watching someone stream and then like, okay, I can kind of get it slowly. There's a very small amount of people in already the niche gaming that we already have here that are going to want to spend that much time. And there's of course blueprints and stuff, but I kind of fear that those people who wanted to make really cool like otter exhibits or whatever else are going to get really frustrated kind of quickly. Then again, when they fall back to the scenery pieces, if they want to build like a building, they're like, I have a wood panel set that's really cool, and like the rocks are pretty neato, but after that, most of it is signs and statues at the top here. I didn't talk about the decals, but the decal sets are really welcome. These are not the decals, but the backdrops. These backdrops are really welcomed. Great addition as well to the building set. But again, when you really break it down, we only have like one new wall set that's complete with the wood panel set and the slate roof, flexi-colored slate roof. And other than that, there's not too much to dig your teeth into. So yeah, I guess overall the theme of the con is kind of the same, where I just fear that the casual crowd, the crowd that kind of as much as I enjoy and love hanging out with our hardcore fan base and everything, and we have a nice growing community here and everything. It is the casual crowd that we kind of need to stick around as much as we can and come back and buy these DLCs to keep I guess more DLCs pumping out and stuff like that, right? So yeah, so I hope that this can grab the attention of them enough, and kind of people can sink their teeth into it and really do some fun things with the DLC and not get frustrated by the tools that are in the game that people already don't really have a full grasp on, or don't want to take the time to get a full grasp on, which is fully understandable. So but yeah, again, with that being said, overall, as you can tell, I hope it was, but the pros section should have been longer than the cons section. And if it wasn't, that's my bad. I got rambly. But yeah, overall, very excited about this pack. It is a must-have pack. It is the best pack that Planet Zoo has put out. And overall, I can't remember if I really talked about this, but yeah, it feels like a turning point overall. It feels like the same way that Studios, and I think it was 1.4 update in Planet Coaster felt, where the first 3 or 4 DLCs that come out are kind of the pre-planned one, or kind of the Frontier putting just kind of in-house DLCs. Now, moving forward, this feels like, okay, we have a lot of community suggestions with, like, the flexi-colored rocks. I never thought we would see flexi-colored rocks in a Planet game, if I'm being completely straight up with you. But, we have that. We also have flexi-colored tree stumps. We have flexi-colored roof sets that are amazing. So, and those are all really big community kind of requests there, for sure. So, if we keep going in this direction, just color me excited, everyone. Like, I'm really excited for the future of Planet Zoo in the future for 2021. The fact that they've broken into the diving mechanics, and sure, they're a little bit rough around the edges. Hopefully we can get kind of refined, if we can get them so they don't have to be only swimming underwater in such deep water. That'd be awesome. And again, it's a brand new mechanic, so hopefully we can get it kind of ironed out, and they'll listen to the community feedback about it and kind of fine tune it how we'd like to. That stuff kind of always happens. I mean, look at the polar bears, right? They enough community feedback about the polar bears, and they kind of tweak that stuff there. So, but yeah, no, again, the fact that they could break through with diving mechanics really makes me hopeful for for aviaries, maybe some digging mechanics as well. Yeah, so just and again, since they're listening to the community so much, hopefully we just keep getting keep putting those requests in, keep putting your ideas in on the forums, because again, by the looks of this pack, they're obviously listening. So your voices are being heard basically on the forums. So, but yeah, no. So overall, I know this is a little bit sporadic, a little bit all over. Hopefully you stayed up with my ramblings and they made enough sense. And yeah, if you were kind of, again, on the edge about whether or not you should get the pack, and you've listened to me ramble this much and hear the excitement in my voice and everything, yeah, no, you should get it. You should definitely get it. Again, paired with the update, free update 1.4 and everything, it's great. It's really, really fun. This is leading up to this, I was kind of in a weird spot with Planet Zoo, where I was enjoying it, but you know, I was kind of just going through the motions with it. But this is kind of really revitalized me and a bunch of other content creators, and just people in general, just other friends and stuff who kind of abandoned the game after a little bit. They're all really excited, and you should be too. It's really fun. It's good times there. Yeah, I haven't put down the game in like 4 or 5 days, and I don't plan to in the next 4 or 5 days, basically. So yeah, perfect. So hey, thanks so much everyone for hanging out. Like I've been saying throughout the video, if you want to see some full-on tours, I'm going to be doing some full-on tours of, you know, the harbor and the indoor of the penguins and everything, the otters, and then also I've been doing a lot more streaming. So if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you get up to date when I do go live. And we'll be building some Dwarf Caimans live on stream, and doing a whole bunch of other stuff with the Aquatic Pack. And yeah, we always have fun on the streams, always do some long live streams too. And yeah, no, it's a great time there. So hey, thanks so much everyone again for listening to my ramblings. Again, if you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button there. Also hit the like button, helps out the channel, helps out the video a ton as well. So there you go. So hey, thanks so much. Comment down below, what do you think about the Aquatic Pack so far? What's the first animal that you're building a habitat for? What's your favorite animal that you're going to build a habitat for? And yeah, can't wait to explore more of the pack with everyone and have fun there. So hey, thanks so much everyone, and until the next Planet Zoo Aquatic Pack video, have a good one.